Imagine this. You're living on a small island surrounded by surfers, sunsets, and the perfect, beautiful nature for capturing beautiful moments through the lens. It's a dream, but on the inside you also know that this place is not the place you want to go if you want to live out your real dreams. So you make a bold move. You move to the city of Madrid without knowing anyone. You arrive and there's no safety net, just passion, creativity, and the drive to make it happen. That's exactly what today's guest, Jony, did. Now he is shaping the dreams, the visual identity for DJs, content creators, and brands, and really turning his dream into reality. Today's episode is not just about going all in on your craft. It's about an English guy living in Spain, experiencing blending cultures, finding success, and having fun on the way. Welcome to 2 years from now, where we look back, we look ahead, and we try to bridge the gap in between. And welcome today to today's guest, Jony.
Thank you very much. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Usually you are the man behind the lens. Today you are in front of the lens. I know it's not entirely new for you because you've done other podcasts. That was cameraman, right?
Yes.
Yes. But how does it feel to be in front compared to being behind the camera?
So normally when I film myself with the camera in my hand, I'm normally really in control. But here at the moment, we have 4 different cameras staring at us, which is a little bit intimidating. But yeah, I'm really feeling confident that we can really share what we want to share here on this podcast. Yes.
Good. Jony, I meet you at the networking event of our shared friend Tom Charles Design, founder of Gidis de Mierda, hosting a lot of great events, by the way, where you're the photographer today and videographer. But I meet you at this networking event. And why are you there? I know you are there to meet Tom.
Yeah. So I'd seen a lot of Tom's videos on TikTok and on Instagram. But I was always wanting to meet more people in the creative side of things. And then seeing Tom there, I saw that he was doing these events. And when I was at the event, I saw him trying to fiddle around with a little camera and not getting the most that he could of creating content at these events. Because obviously you are the host, so you have to be alert to anything that happens. Also in conversation with everybody there, you can't be focused on so many things. So that's when I realized that I could be adding something to what he was creating. It wasn't 100% why I was there, but while I was there, I was talking to other people and realizing that's something I could bring to the table. I never really said that to Tom. Even while I was there, I said it like a month later. I wanted to go like as a spy, incognito kind of thing. And then I talked to him a few times on Instagram and then told him, I'm a photographer, videographer. I'm here for what you need.
Besides from the fact that being a creator, being the person in front of the camera and being the person behind the camera, it's obviously easier if you have somebody to support you behind the camera because it's kind of double focus. Like me, I don't have people to help me with this podcast today. I'm lucky that you are here and you can kind of. We were joking a little bit about that you were verifying my setup with the sound and the camera, but besides from that, you also, it sounded like you also saw a vision in Tom or something that you could improve, something that you could make better.
Yeah, it's always a thing of I love helping other creators, and this was definitely one of those moments. I also saw that the business was going to grow pretty well, but that I could also help on that side of things, because yes, he needed to create the content of these events to be able to show these events and then also to be able to sell tickets. So yeah, it's difficult to do both, host and create the content, which he still does now, but with a little bit of my help. That's only a little bit of my help.
Yes. if you are a creator and you're looking for that next step where you have your own photographer, videographer, content creator, when would you say, when are you ready to take that step?
I think it just depends on the direction of where you want to go and how do you want to go there.
Uh-huh.
Because obviously nowadays you can film so much with a phone,
Uh-huh.
but there is a difference between that content from on your phone and on the camera. So I feel like when you're ready to move from phone to camera, that's a real good moment of going, okay, maybe I need someone even filming me from outside. And also, if you are busy creating, someone else might have another perspective to add on to that creation. So I think it's there where both your creativity and someone else's creativity meet in the middle.
And then in that process, you found out that you wanted to focus more on the video part of content creation. Why is that?
Like I said before, I feel it's more of a fun process, but also with video, you can do so much more. You can take a lot of photos and then string them together, and yes, you can tell a story, but you can easily tell a story with a video. You have to do it right, but you can be editing the music, like slower rhythm, sadder music, more upbeat music, happier music, and that changed the video. And also the color, which you can change the color in the photos, but in video, I feel like the whole, let's say, vibe and creation can be to how you want to create it. So also, I feel like the photo, you have to have taken the photo right. But in video, editing does so much. You can edit a moment however you feel. And sometimes you can even be creating. Back to Tom a little bit, Tom just films so much and then he finds a story afterwards a lot of the time, which that's an amazing thing with video. With photo, you have to capture the right moment, the right time, and the right place. So video was also a way of me telling my own stories, because this is when TikTok, Instagram were going towards video. So I thought, I'm going to do this side, and then also I can collaborate with photographers and work with more photographers, because in Madrid at that point, and still is now, there's a lot more people that are photographers. So I'm not competing with any of them because I do video. I film video and I edit video. So that's something that I also thought of, not just as a creative thing, but also as a business and earning money.
Right. If you are starting out as a videographer, let's say you're talking to yourself, your past self, what is the first thing you want to become good at in order to be a videographer?
100% is the telling the story. Yes, the angles, the color, and what's happening is all really interesting and necessary. But in the edit, that is where you can tell the story. There's no point in filming anything if there's not a story behind it. This is more, as you said, working as a videographer. If it's more your passion, then you can be sat in front of a camera and be reading it. Someone will be interested in this, but if you want to work as that, you need to make the reason why you're reading this book, and then how you're reading this book, and then telling more of the story about this book. The same as you love cars. It's better to be able to tell a story about a car, story about, let's say, a model or a behind the scenes. It's better to tell the story than just visually see what's happening.
And every video has its own story. And if we take the example of your work with Tom, is there also an overall story for all of it that connects it, like a branding story?
Yeah, definitely. Because so when these companies have their campaigns for their marketing, they look at the big picture. So it's the same thing. If you have a business, you need to look at your creative brand and focus on that. I feel like sometimes it's just easier as well to film more than you need, because somewhere eventually if you're going in the right direction, that will be part of your story. So many, let's say, artists and musicians have filmed during their whole life, and it doesn't make sense until Netflix goes, I want a video, I want to make a documentary of your past. So that's when all that content comes into play. And you've not known that. So if you want to start in this world of photography or videography, more videography, just film, and practice. But you don't know what that content's going to be used for in the future.
Right. So you also pick up a lot of the story on the go. You have a direction, you have a let's call it not intuition, but you have an expectation of the story you're gonna tell, and then when you're on the shoot, you also experience new things, and spontaneous things comes in, and it becomes a part of the story.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost like if you took a song and you just took out one beat, that beat would not make sense at all.
No.
But then when you have the whole song together, then that beat has its own part of it.
It's part of something bigger.
Yes.
Definitely.
After living in Spain for over 3,198 days, there's one thing that I've learned. And
Tom, are you ready to do the promo for the summer party?
yeah, that was today, wasn't it? All right, let's do this.
How much do you think about the difference between grinding, hard work, and having fun?
Yeah, so photography, videography, everything creative is more fun for me, let's say.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then in the end, the creativity just kind of disappears. That's where blockout comes. When you get completely blocked in creative block, let's say, you can't progress. So that's where, if you get onto the grind, you always have to have time to be able to create your own projects, because creating your own projects, the enjoyment comes back into it. I feel like here, where I am at the moment, I'm enjoying it a lot. So you did mention before I came from an island. From which island? England or Fuerteventura? So on Fuerteventura, I was having so much fun, but I was missing something. So there I was missing that grind you were talking about a little bit. So that's why the busy side of Madrid has that balance though. It has the Spanish lifestyle in there, but not so laid back. So I feel like it's all definitely the balance of one and the other.
I feel like Madrid is a kind of, might be controversial, but a mix of London and Latin America in one, with like the grinding attitude of hardworking people, but at the same time also it's in Spain, there is a bit more mañana, we'll figure it out on the way.
Yeah, definitely a more laid back approach. You see in Madrid, everybody's running and rushing, but then when their work finishes, it finishes.
Yes.
And I feel like in general.
Ooh. I think that was because they like the podcast.
They like the podcast, or they're very stressed and they want to get home to relax and enjoy. Yeah.
You were raised at least most of your life in Canary Islands. How do you say?
Fuerteventura.
Fuerteventura. Good pronunciation, no? Yeah. And for this reason, from a quite early age, you have been influenced by, let's call it, the Spanish mindset.
Yeah, 100%. Also, the weather helps. You are more cheerful, but the more relaxed and enjoying what you're doing rather than the hustle and keep going. It is 100% the balance, which obviously I lose it sometimes. I lose this balance, and I was working, and then everybody can see. From the creativity side, they say, oh, you're lacking the creativity, you're lacking something, and it's because you're just working. So that is part of the Spanish lifestyle of when you finish work and you do whatever you want.
Some people would say in in UK you live to work, and in Spain you work to live.
Hmm.
Or is it the other way around? You could, yeah, I think it was right. The point is that work is not everything. That mindset. Mm, do you think not only it makes it more pleasurable, but as a creator, I assume that it's also important to be surrounded by that vibe, that energy. Do you think there would be a difference if you were doing your job living in the UK?
Yeah, I feel a lot so, but also it's the type of content,
Uh-huh.
and it's not the content that I want to be doing.
Uh-huh.
Yes, there's lifestyle content, obviously in London, in England in general, but I feel like here it is a lot about the enjoyment, a lot of the creative side. Um, it's a lot nicer to be filming an event on a rooftop in amazing Madrid rather than a rooftop in probably 90% of chance is going to be cloudy
Yeah.
in England. So the weather was one of the reasons that my parents and our family decided to move to Spain.
Yeah.
We moved to the Canary Islands because it's even sunnier in the Canary Islands. It's where we've spent so many holidays.
Right.
But the weather was one of the reasons, and just the quality of life. It's just such a better quality of life because of this balance. Yes, it's stressful at parts because you need to work to live. There is that way.
There is probably people watching this, hopefully, that are having a dream of living in Spain one day, maybe living in the UK. If you were about to take that step, but you felt insecure about, oh, how I'm gonna deal with the language, how I'm gonna deal with the different culture. Based on your experience, I know you lived here for many years, including the Canary Islands. What is there something that you would tell that person, or just run it?
Yeah, it's obviously every situation and every person is different. Be ready to have to adapt. That's 100%. You can't bring your own culture. You have to know what the culture is at that country that you're going to be, obviously, where I feel like a lot of people don't. I see a lot of videos online. Why is this shop not open? Well, it's siesta time. But why are they always sleeping? No, siesta time is not just sleeping. It's the rest in the middle of the day. There's a reason for it. And there's a lot of cultural things that you have to adapt to. The language is one of them. Always be open to learning that new language. If you don't, then you won't be accepted as you could be accepted speaking the language.
I feel like one of the benefits of living in Spain and being a creator, in my case for the podcast, is the idea that if you think of a highway, the fastest highway, the most effective highway, is 80% full. It's 80% pace.
Yeah.
Because if more, then there gets a queue, there come lines on the highway and everything. We all know how a busy highway is, terrible. And I also feel like that with the lifestyle, I think there's something to it with this medium high pace, 80%. And it sounds like you kind of also subscribe to that mindset.
Yeah, it's taken me a while. Maybe even before in the Canary Islands, I was the opposite way around. I was 20% work and 80%, let's say, laid back and full. Like, just see what I mean? But coming to Madrid, that seems to be the balance. I'm also finding time to have time off, let's say. I'm working on these projects that I want to be working on, and that creates less stress because there's no point in a day off if you're stressed about the work from the past days and the days to come.
I was also in the process of preparing this podcast. I learned a little bit more about you as a person and how you grew up in most of your time in Canary Islands. You told me about being a bit of a shy kid. Can you tell me about more like how you were as a kid, being a little bit shy and how that shaped your personality to becoming the person you are today? I know it's a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question. So moved to the Canary Islands when I was 8, 9 years old.
Uh-huh.
Can't remember exactly. So I've been
You
in,
don't remember?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
That's hilarious.
So I've been in Spain, what's that, maybe 23 years
Uh-huh.
now, 22, let's roundabout. So when I was 8 and 9, didn't know the language. It wasn't too hard to learn. I felt like we learned in 3 years, because we went to school.
Mhm.
But that did kind of separate a double personality, let's say. So in English and at home, I was so energetic and I was so social, maybe, let's say. But at school and in Spanish, I was more reserved and more
Uh-huh.
shy, let's say. So I think the shyness was more in school.
Yeah. Being a shy person in Spain.
Yeah. So it was always
Interesting
difficult.
combination.
It was easy. It was always difficult to make friends, and I always made friends with the English first during primary, and then I changed to secondary school, and I found that I had to make friends, Spanish friends, because I felt it was better. Somewhere in myself, I clicked and thought I have to make a few more friends, but I was still so shy. So it was a difficult process, let's say.
And what is when you're shy? Shy is quite a negative loaded word. That's something that you initially you don't wish to be shy. But were there other benefits or was there other things that you learned from being a bit of a shy kid?
Yeah, I was never shy as a sad, but like it was never negative. It was more, I'm happy with myself, just being okay. There's 30 minutes of a break time in school. I'm happy just sitting here, having my sandwich, and just watching everybody. Because as everybody knows, the high school, secondary school is a crazy place.
Yeah.
There's so much happening, so many different people, and I love to people watch. That was my thing. Not in any weird way. I was just love watching things happen and guess what was going to happen next and see who was with who. And it was more of a to stop the boredom a little bit. So it was okay. I was fine, but obviously, if you're not surrounded with these people, you get a little bored. So I used to people watch. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I recently read a book called Unfair Advantages, and in the book they talk about that an unfair advantage is something that you're good at from early on, but you can also, if you think about it, with the things that are more negative, such as being shy, if you think about it and if you twist it around, there might be in some way that it turns out to be a positive, because we all want to be accepted, we all want to be doing good. So if there's something that we are lacking a bit, then it might push other benefits. As a kid, I was a small kid, late in puberty, and I was not the like my friends. They always went to the gym and stuff, but I just developed this mindset. Okay, I'm not in the gym, and I'm a small kid, but I'm gonna be the one who can talk my way. I tell myself that pushed me to become better at talking with people and
Socializing.
socializing, exactly, and create good conversations, which I hope this is.
So on that same way,
Yeah.
I feel that happened to me too, because of watching people in social interactions. Then I applied that to myself and knew how to react and how to talk to people, and also see people's reactions and see how people were feeling while I was talking to this person, or I wanted to become friends with a certain person, and I knew how to. Just the way of acting and way of being. Not that I wasn't myself, but I knew how to communicate. And I feel like now that's also applied to filming these events. I feel like a lot of the times I know what's going to happen, or I know when a smile is going to come, and I can capture that moment because I love to people watch.
Always catching me kissing my girlfriend.
Yes.
And since that, not on the photos anymore. But I see that, and when I'm next to you at events of Tom Kiris de Mierda, I also noticed like exactly how observant you are, and like I'm talking with you, and all of a sudden you disappeared, and it's you're at work, so that's obviously not impolite to just disappear. Good sound. That's obviously not impolite to just disappear when you're at work. But I'm like, whoa, well, oh, he found something to catch.
Yeah, I'm very observant.
Yeah.
So when I am at these events, I know I need certain shots, and when I see something about to happen, I will leave a conversation halfway and go get that shot.
Is it pure intuition?
Well, like I said, it's just me watching people from the past and knowing that something's going to happen, or something interesting could happen from an interaction with someone, let's say. Sometimes I get it wrong, but a lot of times I get it right.
I see that. Can you take me through a little bit more of your story from you choose to leave Canaria, go to Madrid? I know it's around 3 years
Yes.
ago, and I know around 2 years ago you decided to invest in camera. Can you take me through that journey?
Yeah, so I've been filming and taking photos since 2014. There I was creating a lot of projects, working part-time as a photographer and part-time as a chef or a waiter, or whatever I had to be able to evolve in my dream, which what I wanted to do was photography, videography, and editing. Then after COVID, after 2020, that was more the change of, okay, I've enjoyed myself so much, but I want to get somewhere. I want to escape this routine that I had, which is an amazing routine of sunrise, sunset, and swimming in the ocean in between. And I wanted more. And I always loved Madrid. And then the opportunity came up of moving to Madrid with my girlfriend, Sophia. And I took that opportunity of moving away from the Canary Islands. There, I still knew I wanted to do something creative, but I didn't know anybody. I didn't know how Madrid worked. It was all new. But bit by bit, I was collaborating with models, influencers, and started discovering the passion for videography. So I knew that my camera that I had was not going to take me to the next level. So I had to be working in these restaurants for about a year to be able to save up to buy a new camera, which is one of these cameras is filming now, to bring my quality up. Because I had my creativity, I had my storytelling, but what I didn't have was the quality that brands now need, which is the 4K camera.
So arriving in Madrid with the dream of being a videographer for a living, but working in the meantime in restaurants, based on what I know, that's economically a little bit tough.
It is very tough. Yeah, the salary is not that good. So I was always part-time. Even though I was working almost a full-time job, I was always part-time photography or videography, adding up that salary, which Madrid is an expensive city. So the salaries at the moment aren't really high enough to sustain a good quality of life here in Madrid, especially in the restaurants and hotels and everything like that. So yeah, it did take a while for me to save up to be able to buy that camera, but it also showed me what I really wanted to do. I feel like this is amazing that everyone should do, and everybody should make their children do also, like when they're teenagers, when they're older, is work in or work at something that you don't want to do, and then you really know what you want to do. So that's the way to find a passion or a passion project, is working at something that makes you stressed, makes you miserable, not being able to decide your own hours or anything like that. That is just, sometimes it doesn't feel like the Spanish lifestyle. Because you have a boss telling you, can you cover for this person? And I have plans. No, you have to come in, else you may not have a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
In the end, yeah, that 80% is not there. You have to be full into your work. I realized that in my situation, being the photographer, being the creative, I could also create for that restaurant. So I then went part-time, doing less hours in the restaurant as cooking and more creating. So then there was more flexibility of controlling my own hours.
Did you say cooking?
Yes, cooking.
You were cooking?
Yeah. So I have been
a chef?
Huh?
You've been a chef?
I've been a chef. Yes. Something new you're learning about me. Yeah. So that's also why I love taking pictures of food as well. Because I worked in the kitchen literally since I was 15, 16 years old.
Wow.
All the way up to 2 years ago, where they fired me, but I was so happy that they fired me because I could then pursue what I wanted to do, which was creating my new dream.
Right.
The dream was now becoming more possible, and the change of working for someone else and now being autonomous and being able to decide where I want to be, what I want to do, who I want to work for, creates less stress, and it's more fun.
Yeah, more fun indeed. I can imagine. How much do you make working in a restaurant in Madrid on average?
On average, maybe 800 to 900, maybe a little bit more.
Euros? Before tax? After tax? After tax?
After tax.
Okay. Then there is a moment when you decide to, with that salary, invest in a camera, a quite expensive one, as far as I know.
The equipment that I wanted was obviously going to be expensive. So I did pay for it month by month.
Because you wanted to be able to produce the best from day one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also, I suddenly realized that buying more equipment could then also mean charging more because I look more professional, but also I can use these tools and equipment to bring up the quality and the production level.
Right. I thought it was also interesting what you said about pursuing your purpose, your passion. And personally, I have a corporate job, and sometimes I'm sitting in my corporate job, looking around and asking myself, do I want to, like, is this, if I look out in the future 5, 10 years from now, do I want to build this? And then it quickly turns into, I have a fine job, a great job, but with this passion for podcast, it turns into a kind of an anti-vision.
Yes.
Like, I know you maybe you don't even need to know exactly what you want to do, but you might know what you don't want to do. So by trying out a lot of things, and for you working in a restaurant, I think you knew from the beginning that was not what you wanted to do, but then you find out how important it is for you to go all in on your dream. And although you have a low paid job, actually investing in that cool camera. Some months ago, you got the opportunity to work on a really cool project and really a peak experience in your life, a collab between Adidas and Real Madrid. And I know, because we've been talking about it, so I know at some point you end up in the VIP lounge in the middle of a football game. Take me through, how do you get in there?
In the creative world, it's so important to collaborate, especially because you don't know where these collaborations can go. So I've collaborated a few times with a model, and now he's my friend, and he works a lot on these big productions. But this one day he came to me with a project that he'd been doing and said there's an opportunity to be filming with him a video at the Bernabeu Stadium. So at this point, I wasn't too sure what it was. And then he continued telling me that it was a collaboration between Real Madrid and Adidas. And the video was about taking the look of the day, so finding the most random person best dressed around the stadium into the VIP lounge of Adidas and of Bernabeu. And I would be filming it.
The first time you hear that you're going on a job with Adidas and Real Madrid, What is going through your mind there?
That literally 6 months before, maybe not even that, a few months before, I was at the Champions League event outside, because it's always an event. There's always a big event, so many people. I was just randomly taking photos, not for a job, just for passion, just enjoying it, and people watching. And I said to myself, if I'm ever going in that stadium, I'm not paying for it. Literally, I'm not paying for it. But more as I'm not going at any seat. I'm going to go in big. So I manifested it without even knowing that a few months later, Juan would come to me, and I never mentioned that to him. And he told me, you're having the opportunity of doing this. Not only a collaboration, but it's a paid job for me to be filming him, interviewing people, finding the best look of the match, going up to the VIP box, and it's absolutely insane. Seeing the Colosseum, let's say, of this stadium is just incredible. Also, the amount of food. The food and the quality of food is like nothing I've seen before. And it was just an amazing experience. Maybe the first time I was nervous, so I didn't take it all in at this first time, but we did maybe 6 or 7 videos of different matches. And by the second and third, I was just realizing where I was and what I've accomplished and why I'm in Madrid. That was the point. Like you said, it was a high point, but not only, okay, because I'm here, but because of being in Madrid, I have this opportunity. If I was in Fuerteventura, I would not have this opportunity, because Juan told me the day before that they needed a videographer for this project. And I was here and I was ready. And a lot of people would say, oh, you're so lucky. And I feel like I was preparing for that.
Yeah. When you're sitting in the VIP lounge at Santiago Bernabeu on a job for Adidas and Real Madrid, how long time is that from you investing in that camera?
Literally 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. And I would never have known, but you never know. I've always created. If I'm creating my own personal life, I'm creating with brands, I'm creating with models, I never know what can become of that. So it's always an interesting story to be told. Because literally we don't know what's going to happen even tomorrow. But I knew something was going to become of this, and this dream of creating my own vision and my own lifestyle, which is still in progress. It's hugely still in progress, but I feel like every step I'm doing is in that right direction.
And I know you're not working on that project anymore. Why did you stop?
It was a very stressful project at the end, just because of the editing side of it. It had a quick delivery. It needed to be delivered in the next 12 to 24 hours, which we did film a lot of interviews. So it was a lot of content to be editing. Also, there were corrections, because these are big brands. They are big companies. There's a process that you need to go through of different opinions. So we would send the video to the agency, that they would send the video to Adidas and send the video to Real Madrid. And every one of these steps had their own opinions, which had to be changed. Which this was the stressful part, because obviously I'm enjoying Bernabeu. I know how it's filmed, but every video was partly different, partly edited different. So it became stressful. It became pretty stressful. So they then realized that I couldn't put my full attention on these Real Madrids videos where people would say that's a dream job. However, I had many other projects at that time that also needed my attention, that became before, let's say before this new project, I was working on other projects. So I couldn't suddenly stop it. And let's say for the amount they were paying, it wasn't worth it, because I would have to spend the next 2-3 days waiting for their changes, which the changes were understandable. Sometimes it was just a different creative opinion, which I'm fine with that, and that is fine. It was never nothing bad between us. It was just that it was too stressful at the moment for me, and they decided that maybe this was not the right time for me. And I never fought that decision. I never pursued another video, it was just, for me, that was the right time. That was an amazing experience. I have this for my portfolio now. My friend still is continuing this project now. So if there are any fans of Real Madrid, go with your best outfit. Go find him, and they might take you to the VIP box of Adidas. It could become true,
really cool.
Which is an amazing experience, like I said. And for me, that balance came back again of, this is too stressful for me, and it wasn't worth it.
If there's somebody listening to this, watching this, who, and let's say this person have been offered a job that is quite prestigeful, but the cost of opportunity of going into this job is that they cannot take care of the other jobs they also have. What would be your take on when to say no, and also when to stop?
The enjoyment for me is a big part of it. When I'm stressed, I don't enjoy it. So at the match, I would be enjoying it less and less, because I was stressed about the next few days. And there, for me, it's, if you are working your passion job, then if you are able to say no, say no. Sometimes also it's worth the risk, because you feel like something else will come. Like this project came from one day to another, I felt there that something else would come up. And literally a few days or maybe a week later, something did come up. I could have not known that. It is a risk, but the stress wasn't worth it, because I was getting ill, because I suffer from migraines, and the migraines don't let me, don't allow me to be in front of a screen. So I can't be editing, I can't be working. So I'm not even working on the other projects. And it just becomes too stressful and not worth it at that point of time. Everybody's situation is different, but I feel like you've got to write down that list of the good and the bad. And if you get the good and the bad, the list of the bad outweighs the good, I would say that's not the right project for at that moment. Maybe in a few years, if you get the same opportunity, maybe that is the right moment.
I also, sometimes when there are things I want to do and I'm not sure if now is the time or if I have time, I just paint out my calendar and I try to put it in somewhere. And sometimes I realize, if I also want to be able to go on a walk and just let the mind wander, in other words, if I don't want to be packing my calendar 100%, if I want to keep those 80%, then no, there's not time. There's no time. Okay, then it's a no. Don't
fight that. I feel like it's, the more you fight it, you also get stressed and the anxiety comes in. It is a mind game of being able to let go of that amazing thing. I suppose sometimes that happens in love too, isn't it? There are a lot of conversations recently with a lot of people that they have it right, and maybe it's time for something else. My parents did the same 23 years ago, that everything was right, let's say, living in England, but something could have been better.
Right.
And it was a risk. It was 100% risk because there was so much logistics in it. Obviously, the buying the house, buying the car, the jobs, but also us in school. There were so many things that could have gone wrong. But what happens if they could go right?
Yeah.
And it is that way of thinking of, we want more from this.
Yes.
And then now, back to, I think it's 2 years ago, my parents moved from the Canary Islands after 20 years. They moved to England. They say they don't move back because it's a new adventure. They moved to England and bought a narrowboat because they were happy on this narrowboat and less happy in Fuerteventura. So I get that from them, that sometimes it just doesn't feel right. Something could feel better.
Yes.
And it is a risk,
Yeah.
100% a risk. But knowing that that risk could be for a few days, for a few weeks, for a few months, it can always be changed.
Right.
And it is a mindset, because you can go down that rabbit hole of, let's say, depression and doubts. But I feel like if you're confident enough and work enough towards what you want to be doing, there is a big possibility and a big chance of you being able to do what you want to be able to do.
Powerful message. I was watching this podcast with Rory Kramer, who is the photographer, videographer of Justin Bieber, and he told the story of the deodorant brand Axe offering him a really well-paid job, but his mental health was just not there. He couldn't do it, and so he turned it down, although it was the best paycheck that he had ever been offered. Then 1 week later, Hailey Bieber calls him and asks him to do the photographer and videographer of their wedding. And he tells this story like he would not have been able to do that job if he had said yes to the Axe, not in the sense of time perspective, but in the sense of mental health and mental capacity. I thought that was,
It is a typical phrase, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's always a direct reason, but the reason could be, what if you did that job, then you wouldn't get this job.
Yes.
That's kind of the thing.
Yeah, or if you burn yourself out and you don't have the capacity, then the cool opportunity arises, but you're so low and no creative energy left.
Yeah. I feel like if you are prepared, you have to be prepared for some projects.
Yes.
Mentally, physically, and having the right equipment.
Yes.
Because that's also, if I would have gotten an amazing brand coming to me in 2020, 2021, I would have brought my creative side, but I wouldn't have brought my quality or the techniques that I now know.
And I'm about to ask you a question about where you see yourself in 2 years from now, Jony. And I just want to say where I see myself in 2 years from now, which is also where you see yourself in 2 years from now, is being the one to adjust the light while I'm recording, because my podcast has grown and I have an audience and I can pay you to be behind the lightning and make sure everything is perfect. So that's my version of your answer, but I do want to hear your answer. But first I want to refresh. 2 years ago, you invest in this camera. 6 months before the Bernabeu, you're standing in front of Santiago Bernabeu and manifesting, I'm not going to pay for my own ticket to get in here. I'm going to get in here somehow else. You did some months ago. Now you're sitting here in my podcast, which must be the greatest day of your career, of course.
Definitely, 100%.
And then I would like to know, where do you see yourself in 2 years from now?
It's definitely creative. Something definitely creative. I will always have a camera in my hand. People that know me since I've had that camera in my hand since 2014. The camera has got a lot bigger, but I want to have that camera in my hand. I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know what I'm going to be filming. I will be enjoying it, because if I'm not enjoying it, then I would have changed that. I hope it will be traveling around the world creating. That's if it's photo, if it's videos, if there's new technology in 2 years, maybe doing that also. Obviously now using a lot more AI than before.
Oh, I will buy a robot.
You buy a robot.
A Jony robot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I will clone myself and separate myself around the world, be conscious around the world. But I don't know anything specific. I know I will be doing something that I want to be doing, 100%. That is what I've been doing for the past years. I don't know how many years, but so many years. I've been doing what I want. And if I've been doing something like working in the restaurant that I've not want to be doing, it's because I'm working hard on doing this, my passion, which is the filming, the editing, the capturing these moments, telling the stories. Maybe I'm also in front of the camera. This is something that I've been doing, but following someone and making a documentary, maybe that's the direction that I want to go in. Maybe it's finding that one person to follow around their events, their experiences, because it just unlocks so much bigger creative paths.
Yes.
That there I could meet someone else, there I could be doing something else, there I could be getting better equipment and just having fun.
Yeah. Jony, thank you so much for coming here, sharing your story. I take a lot away from this episode with you, especially the part about being all in on your dreams, but having fun on the way, making it a goal in itself to have fun. Grinding is just simply not worth it without having fun. And in this world with AI and competition, you need to have your creative senses ready, and you don't have them if you burn yourself out with work you don't want to do. So thank you so much for coming and sharing that story. Big thanks to Casa 66 for allowing me to shoot this episode with you. It's a super cool location, and they are hosting other events. I know, for instance, Deep Chats by Tatiana. I will put a link to that as well, and I will put a link to you, Jony. If people don't want to look at my link, where do they find you?
Find me anywhere. Jony's Travels.
Yes.
Mainly Instagram is what I use, but also YouTube, which hopefully I start posting there more often.
Great. Thank you. It's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for saying thank you.
Thank you for thanking me for thanking you.
It's gonna be a long night.